Spring is here, Dan.
It certainly is.
It's time for spring cleaning.
The birds and the bees are out and about.
Spring awakening.
Spring awakening. Springtime for Hitler.
in Germany. And spring here at Wii Studios.
It's spring here at Wii Studios, and what does that mean, Jack? It means go to Amazon and shop like you normally would, but first go to amazon.weepodcast.com, buy all your spring cleaning gear.
Yeah, so,
You need a
I just
vacuum?
use it. Vacuum.
You need a Swiffer?
Swiffer.
Get your Swiffers.
And get your birds and the bees gear. You need condoms?
Hey, man.
You
Is
need
that
vibrators?
Wait a minute. Is that what Birds and the Bees refers to?
It refers to butt plugs. They all start with B.
My God. I've learned so much here today.
Where can we get these butt plugs again?
Amazon.weepodcast.com, of course.
All right.
Enjoy the show.
60 minutes are on the clock and straight out of Wii Studios. This is 90s Percentile. My name is Jack.
My name is Dan, and we're talking everything 90s and maybe also everything before and after.
That's right. And talking with us today is Steve Whalen, Mr. Jokes. How's it going, Steve?
I love this crowd.
Hey.
All right.
There you go.
So,
Sometimes I start
catchphrase.
with a joke and then go into it.
no, start with the
I'll just-
catchphrase.
yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
So, Steve, you are a stand-up comic.
Yes.
Mr. Jokes is not your official legal last name.
No, if
That's your
only.
stage name.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet. When Mr. Jokes 2 comes out after my career, like Gallagher 2, when Mr. Jokes 2 comes out, I'll probably have to change it to my legal name.
Gallagher, too, was Gallagher's brother, and we've had
Correct.
your brother, Tom,
that's true.
on the show twice before, so shout out to Tom.
Yes.
And it's funny, so we went to high school with Tom. We went to high school with you for a little
Yep.
while, and we
Oh, you're related to Tom.
Yeah.
I never pieced that together in like the 20 years that I've known you both.
No, that's not true.
Amazing. I thought you just
come
lived
on.
together.
We used to have poker nights.
I
Come
thought
on.
you just lived together and just had the same name and
right.
look alike.
Well, he was Whalen 2 for a while. So that was...
Well, the reason I bring it up is now you're doing very well for yourself.
Thank
Your
you.
stand-up is great. We're going to talk about it in just a
for
minute.
sure.
Thanks.
And you pretty much are Mr. Jokes now. But
yeah.
I still, in my head, I actually still call you the Stunner because we used to call you
Oh,
Stunning Steve Whalen.
Steve Whalen, yeah.
Yes.
So it's weird
Wow.
for me.
Haven't heard that in a bit.
Yeah. So in my head, you're now Stunning Steve Whalen,
Whalen,
Mr.
Mr.
Jokes.
Jokes.
And
Exactly.
then when that 2 comes out,
Yeah,
There you go.
That's you've really made it then.
Yeah.
you cannot fit it all into a vanity license plate.
No.
So how would you describe your act, Steve?
You know what? I've been called, not to name drop, but without telling me before, Chris Gethard said I was the most perplexing act he had ever seen.
That is amazing.
Yeah, but some people, not to get too crazy or to get too self-indulgent right off the bat.
Well,
but
this is the most indulgent
I know.
podcast
It's true.
on the internet.
some
so.
people say, is he a comedian? Is he a character? I say, book me and find out. No, I say... Some people kind of forgot what stand-up is, where it's like, it's not, I go up, I told jokes, I came down, and somebody was like, man, because it was a show at like a comedy club, so they kind of have to constantly
Yeah.
apologize. They were like, man, how unique was that? You see the most unique stuff here. And he was a nice fellow, but
Yeah.
I just wanted to be like, huh? Unique? But
Take my wife, please. That's genius.
Exactly. Yeah.
My God.
I don't like my wife.
Take my wife. Take my
Take
wife,
her.
folks. Please. That's me. I put a folks in there.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
boy.
I-
One-liner comic, certainly. A ton of self-deprecation. Occasionally, I might do a little fun thing that slams kind of stuff that everybody, like Staten Island. Sometimes I'll do a fun slam. Depends on where I am.
What's the Staten Island scene like? Because I thought about I was still living on Staten Island when I was doing stand-up, but I would always trek into the city. I just first of all, I didn't drive, so I
Yeah.
couldn't get to anywhere that wasn't right off a bus line.
Nothing about
Right.
Staten Island screams comedy to me except the people who live there.
Yeah, there you go.
But there is a
And
strong
tragedy.
scene though, right?
And tragedy.
You got
Strong is tough.
All right.
It has its waves, the up and down, and unfortunately, it seems like we're kind of in a double down period right now, where like literally a couple years ago, not exaggerating here, a bunch of younger comedians, they all went in on a comedy class. And that literally became like the scene, and that's why 7 or 8 people. It doesn't, but unfortunately 1 or 2 quit, and then it's like, oh, a third of the scene is gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
was Pete Davidson in that?
No,
scene?
that's way before. That's
Okay.
why I didn't get upset at him when he
When his Staten Island slammers.
Yeah, that's what he had.
He
That
hates
big
us.
Staten
He doesn't.
Island.
He does not like
And
Staten
people
Island.
asked me for I said nevertheless. But excuse me, that joke kills me. When somebody says a bunch of stuff, especially online, if they do a huge rant against you, you go, nevertheless, thank you for your support. I appreciate it.
We might steal that. We need that.
Yeah, there you go. But it's not like it was mine to begin with. But yeah, he had no support going up, and it was just a thing where it's like at an open mic in Staten Island, it would be like 19 musicians and him. So you kind of can't for him. Kind of freaking out a little on Staten Island, how little support he got.
And he was probably like, what, 16 at the time? Because
Yeah,
he was
exactly.
on SNL
Yeah, totally.
19?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Imagine, just imagine all that stuff being laid on you when you're 16 or 17.
Huh. All right, so let's... I'm glad you picked a clip for us to play, because I'm a huge fan. I follow you on
Thanks.
Twitter, and all of our listeners should follow you on social media. And we'll get to that in a second. But I wouldn't be able to pick one of my. You do jokes of the joke of the day on Instagram
and late night joke, which is
late night joke.
Nice.
It's usually just you in the couch with a selfie.
That's true.
So I wouldn't be able to pick a favorite. But what's this one?
This one is what's called a joke of the week, where usually I call it from that week. If I didn't, then it's sometime in history. But this is a dating, like a date gone bad joke, which I tend to do. And basically the same thing on Instagram. Every Friday I'll post like this. So this is a nice little date gone bad joke.
All right, here we go.
Little teaser.
Having trouble with the ladies. I took a woman on a date recently. I said I'm having a great time. She said we have nothing in common. I love this crowd. Shout out to my friend Steven DeCiano, my best friend, who did the music for that.
Nice.
What are you gonna do when you knock on wood, you become a huge successful star? Are you going to still do the self-depreciating humor? Or are you going to just? I went on a date last week. It went amazing.
Well,
we got married. She loves me.
Yeah,
I'm rich.
Well, that's anti-humor then. And that's hilarious.
Way to make me feel sad, but I have a feeling that even when I'm successful, self-deprecation jokes with me will still work.
That's what we do
Well
here.
played.
We make our
Well
guests
played.
feel bad.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we'll remind everybody again at the end. But where can our listeners find more of these jokes?
Okay. Steve Whalen, MrJokes.com, SteveWhalen, MrJokes.com, and the Twitter is at Real Mr. Jokes, RealMrJokes.
Now,
I
hang
tried
on.
to bully. I tried to bully.
There's an actual at Mr. Jokes.
Yeah, I tried to bully him off. Not personally.
Is this the guy
but-
from Malawi?
No, it's not that guy who will never be mentioned. No, but literally, it's just like a pic of a motorcycle, and like that's it. And I just wanted to.
That's terrible.
I know. But
I hate when there's like a really good Twitter account that like
Yeah.
someone just sits on and
Like
just
Wii
one tweet.
Studios?
Yeah.
Like Wii Studios.
But what was I getting at? Yeah. I kind of tried. Part of me thinks that like if I get an agent or something, and sometimes agents can do those moves where they kind of call up Twitter and are like, "Come on." But just Real Mr. Jokes is pretty funny because there's so many like real,
Yeah,
for
of
example,
course,
Gilbert
yeah.
Gottfried's is at Real Gilbert, but it's just like who would, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I,
No, it's very funny.
During the election, I wanted to create a reverse Donald Trump account where I would take his actual tweets and just do the opposite to point out how ridiculous the things he was saying.
Sure.
So first thing I looked, first screen name I went for was the fake Donald Trump.
I'm sure that's definitely taken, yeah.
So then I went with what was it like? It was like Donald Dump. that was taken.
I think I took a tunnel dump before we started recording.
The real Donald Dump. That was taken.
Wait. The real someone has the Twitter
real
handle.
Donald Dump.
The real tunnel dump.
The fake Donald Dump taken. Reverse Trump taken.
Oh,
Backwards
yeah.
Trump
You kidding
taken.
me?
So I did it twice, and then I got bored and I never did it
Right.
again.
Yeah.
The handle it's under is the real Donald Dump. It's something like that. I think I even ran out of room. It might just be real Donald Trump or something.
Donald True.
Which, if I call it Donald True, it really takes the whole point of the.
Yeah.
And I have a picture of him with an evil goatee.
Of course, very good. I love it. Real Donald Trump. But we're not here to talk about Jack. I love your Twitter, by the way.
There he is.
I'm keeping it real, folks. That's what we're doing here.
No, Mr. Tump.
All right. If you say no and you're the real Donald Trump, I have to listen to you. That's the rules of the presidency.
I'm your boss.
Get it
That's
up,
right.
I pay
signatures.
taxes.
The American people are my boss.
I'd like
and
you to-
you're all fired.
It's becoming JFK.
Ask not.
Ask not.
I'm coming
Watch your
back
Twitter.
and I'm going to work in the White
Ask
House.
not for the real Donald Trump. Ask for the real Donald
The
Trump.
real JFK.
Ich bin grab
KFJ.
pussy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, check
All right.
please.
It is.
I love this crowd.
Oh, man alive.
What did you write today? There you go. That's another catchphrase for a joke that bombs.
Brilliant.
What did you
Which
write?
I learned I have to say with a smile because I've had some crowds recently shut down.
Really? That's,
Yeah.
I guess it's not that surprising. It depends how
Yeah,
it's said, I
just
suppose.
in
but
general, a big guy yelling at you. You have to, put yourself in their shoes where it's like, oh.
You should focus on one person in the audience and
Yeah.
scream at them.
Yeah,
What did you
exactly.
write today?
Oh, that happens when, comedians sometimes transfer bombs, and it's always uncomfortable. I had it happen to a friend. There was a show, and the comedian tried to transfer a bomb to somebody who was a comedian that they didn't know they
no.
were a
Yeah,
comedian.
yeah.
So
That's playing
it
with
was
fire.
it was a funny thing too, because they were like, "Oh, this guy, right, with his jacket, come on, of course the thing," and then everyone's like laughing, so like he has no idea, you know what I mean? Like,
I always get picked on. I just have an asshole face, I guess.
It's true.
So
I don't know what to tell you.
I could imagine.
I hate when I get picked
Oh,
on in a
yes.
crowd, and when I'm performing that night, and I would be like, and I just like, come on, like
So
I'm-
you're being like called out,
yeah,
and
like
then you're
first of all,
going on stage
you're
later.
opening for me,
Yeah,
you know,
right,
in a way,
right.
and because I don't do open mics anymore. The only time I perform would be I have like a group of friends who will let me, like they'll invite me, and I'll go in their lineup because
Yeah.
we were talking before the air. I just open mics are just they're
Yeah.
rough. You really got to commit, and I with the podcast I had to give it up. So yeah, I would only do these actual paid shows where I would be in the lineup, and I would usually be third or fourth, and the first and second guy would just start picking on me
Yeah.
and be like, "Oh, I'm here for you. I'm here. I'm supporting you."
I
I'm
could
not-
never be in the front row during a show or a mic because I'm such a larger than life guy. And if somebody tells a silly joke, they'll be like, "Oh, Steve, you would like this one," and then it's just like you can't win because if it bombs, it's like, "Oh, Steve liked that one and that didn't do well." Ooh, Steve's judgment. And then if it does
God.
well, it's like good for them, but I'm like, ugh,
It helps you none.
so
Yeah.
nerve wracking.
Well, guys, I'm happy to tell you the mics at We Studios are always open for both
There
of you.
you go.
And no one will make fun of you.
You make fun of me constantly.
All right, stupid assholes, let's get on to the
Whoa.
show. So we have a bank of 90s topics that our listeners
Not
have
a bank
submitted.
of money.
We definitely do not have a bank of money.
We're working on that.
We're
The
working on
wee
it.
bank.
The Wee Bank. It's FDIC insured, and you're going to need it because the economy is not doing
There you
well. But Steve, as our guest, it is
Yes.
your right to either choose our first 90s topic or go into the random topic generator where listeners of the show can go to WePodcast.com to submit topics. What do you want to do?
I'm feeling random.
Ooh.
We have had a string of guests.
Guess
A
with
string
balls.
of
Guess
guests
with balls.
Yeah.
Not like Colleen and Christina.
Yeah.
Ooh, can we please talk about Blockbuster?
Did they pick Blockbuster? They did pick Blockbuster.
I think
thought,
so.
I thought it was random. Now I don't
Blackbuster.
remember.
No, you're just we're just insulting our recent
It's,
guests.
Yeah, I was
it's
about to
true.
say.
Our recent very good guests, who we would love to have back on the show, they're not listening. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Well, they had their turn. They can't pick another topic.
Amen.
All right, so here we go. Wow.
Uh-oh.
This is a good one for the guest.
Is
the
it
topic,
Superman versus Star Wars?
It's not, but the topic comes from Brent, so thank you, Brent.
Thank you, Brent.
The topic is the Justice League of America TV pilot from 1997.
Oh, Miguel
Wow.
Ferrer, R.I.P.
Miguel Ferrer played the
Wow.
Weather Wizard, right?
Well, no, he played Martian Manhunter.
Oh, you're right.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. He played the Weather Wizard on Superman, I think, or on some
Yeah,
DC
it's
animated show.
probably-
I think we
I'm
need.
sure
We're
he was the
nerding out
voice of-
already.
I wouldn't be
We-
surprised if he was the voice of it.
We need to take a pause here and recognize that this is probably the first time we had a random topics fit so perfectly
Yeah.
with a guest. Usually
That's true.
it's
I'm a
like the worst possible.
Right.
I always remember back in high school, you were my go-to DC guy because you
Yeah.
were the only person I knew who preferred DC over Marvel,
Yeah.
besides me.
To this day. Oh, high five. I'll
Hey,
give you a little-
well,
I'll
I've
give you an
I've
actual
leaned
high
more
five.
towards Marvel over the years. You know, my hair's
reverse five.
Oh my God! He took away your 5.
my hair
Reverse
receded and my
chump five.
no, I still love DC, but
Yeah.
my love for Marvel has grown. Not
Oh,
not
okay.
necessarily my
I have
DC
nothing
love
but love for Marvel. I've kind of never. I worked at Jim Hanley's Universe, which is now JHU Comic Books, for nearly a decade, and the whole I love one, so I must hate the other. It just gets old so fast.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Well,
yeah.
look at just so this is we're way ahead, which is unusual, but we're about 10 days ahead of releasing this.
Yeah.
But just today, Joss Whedon announced,
Yes.
or somebody announced that Joss Whedon will be writing and directing a DCEU cinematic universe movie, Batgirl.
Batgirl,
And, he's famous
So
for doing Marvel.
It's going to be odd.
I hope he does the Batgirl that doesn't talk with the mask
Oh
over.
yeah, I really Cassandra Cain. Because that's the best one. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You know that's the best one. Oh my god.
But our topic is the Justice League
Yes.
1997 pilot, which I have seen. Jack, have you actually seen it?
Nope.
I have seen it.
And Steve has seen it. All right, it's not good.
No,
That-
it's terrible.
That should go without
It's
saying.
from 20 years ago?
It's from the 90s.
I was about to say, no, it's from 1997, and then
Yeah,
I
no, it's
realized
like,
that is 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Miguel Ferrer actually played a terrorist calling himself the
Oh,
Weatherman.
he played. I thought Miguel Ferrer was Martian Manhunter.
I can tell you
I'm
who
a
played
bad-
Martian
bad
Manhunter.
guess.
David Crumholz. It's probably David Ogden Stiers.
David Ogden Stiers.
David
yeah.
Ogden Stiers.
Who is
That was my
I don't know
next
who that
guess.
is.
He's from
Miguel.
Match.
Jeez, I feel like a piece of crap.
Okay, interesting. I have a very quick story that I want
I
to
am
get
a
out of the
big
way.
DC fan, folks.
I love DC. I love Marvel more, but that's besides the point. So this pilot, one time in my life, I was wearing a Green Lantern T-shirt, like a nerdy person tends to do.
Yeah.
And I was at a bar in Manhattan, and someone came up to me and said, "Do you like Green Lantern?" And I was like, "Please leave me alone." But he persisted. I said, "Yeah, I like Green
Nevertheless,
Lantern,"
he
and he
persisted.
said. He was the actor who played Green Lantern
that's
in
awesome.
this, and he
Oh
told
my
me
God.
that. And I hadn't seen it at the time, and I was like, "Oh wow, that's really cool." And he was like, "Yeah, he wouldn't stop talking to me. He may have been hitting on me."
That's really
I
sad.
can't tell.
Can you confirm that it was actually him and not like some weird stalker imposter?
I did. I looked him up later. So where is he? Matthew Settle is apparently his name. So I
He was
met
settling
him.
for
Yeah, I was
you.
about to say emphasis on the settle.
I met him once in New York.
That's so sad because like that is really cool. And I would, if I was him, I would constantly want somebody at the
Yeah.
bar to be like, "Hey, this
Yeah.
guy was Green Lantern." But to do it yourself, like I rarely ever go.
It's a little weird.
When I'm hitting on the ladies, hope my girlfriend's not listening.
Yeah.
When I'm hitting on the ladies at the bar. And I'm just like, hey, I host a podcast. I don't know. I actually don't hit on ladies. I'm assuming if I was single, we neither of us, I guess, have been single since we started podcasting.
No, I haven't been
I
single
can't
in a
imagine
decade.
myself bringing that up organically. Maybe if she said, I host a podcast, I could say I host a podcast too. But I can't imagine going.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
There's
you
such
like
a
you like
stigma.
podcasts?
You like podcasts?
Yeah,
I-
there's such a stigma.
You hear this
about
voice?
Podcasts. Yeah,
No, it's there's a lot of us.
Do a little Gary Owens.
To be fair to
Do
the
you
guy,
like podcasts.
maybe he wasn't hitting on me. I mean, how often does he see someone actually wearing
Yeah.
a Green Lantern
Get over
T-shirt?
yourself.
This was pre
like
Big Bang Theory.
this was
That's
was
true.
like 2004 probably.
Yeah, because I bought my Green Lantern shirt. I really wanted a Robin shirt. I really wanted one.
Yeah.
And I went to the store to go buy one.
You're talking like a bright red and yellow and green
yeah,
shirt.
yellow
with the
R,
R.
modern like 90s R. Because modern to me is the 20 years ago.
Yep.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to hold off on this because that was when I decided I was going to be Robin for Halloween. And I
Yeah.
was like, all right, I'm not going to buy a T-shirt. I'm going to go all out. And I did, and it was awesome. I have a really cool Robin costume. I keep it in my closet just in case.
Just in case
You never
Batman
know.
calls,
You never know.
never know.
Like if
may
if
happen.
shit goes down outside, maybe dressing up as a superhero might diffuse the situation. I don't know.
Maybe not Robin.
It doesn't help that there's no pants. The whole joke of the costume is that my dick's out. But you've seen the costume, right?
I have not seen your open
It's-
dick Robin costume.
No, it's not open
Burt
dick.
Ward?
It's Burt Ward.
Oh,
yeah,
good
yeah.
choice.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It's Burt
Yeah.
Ward with a little 90s. It's got the
Maybe
90s
I-
R.
maybe I have seen
It's
it.
got the
interesting.
90s cape and the 90s R. It's got the Burt Ward sleeves, boots, and crotch.
I do vaguely remember a nightmare I had of you wearing it, so I probably did see it.
Anyway,
at some
so
point.
I was like, you know what? Let me get a Green Lantern shirt. That's cool. And then I was actually Green Lantern that Halloween.
Yeah.
And then the Big Bang Theory came out. And now everybody's like, "Oh, you're a Big Bang Theory fan." I go, "No, I'm a Green Lantern fan."
No, Big Bang Theory is
And,
terrible.
This, I'm sure you guys are much bigger comic book nerds. I'm not even like a Hal Jordan fan because I don't know Hal Jordan. I only knew Kyle.
Yeah, you're
Kyle
a
Rayner.
Kyle Rayner.
So
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
a Kyle Rayner fan. I got people go, "Oh, you're like autistic sitcom nerds." Huh? I was like, "No,
No.
I like Kyle Rayner."
I like the fourth Green Lantern.
Yeah.
How foolish are you people?
Somebody made. I don't know, but somebody made a very compelling argument that Kyle Rayner was the best Green Lantern ever, and it's because they gave him so much stuff to do. You don't realize it until where it's like, oh, he rebirthed the Guardians. All the Guardians were.
Yeah. Was he Green Lantern when Superman died?
No, because
right after,
because Hal Jordan was, and then
and then
into
he
Parallax.
So he was the one that had to
City.
stop Parallax, right?
Yes.
Kyle Rayner was, yeah, I think.
Parallax.
Then he
Did
became
he
a
not
space
die
bug.
by recharging the sun?
Who?
Parallax.
Yeah,
he had
he
a
did.
moment where he's like, "Oh man, the
Blackest
sun went
Night,"
out.
maybe was that?
No, that was
Blackest Night was much
that
later.
was 0 Hour.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're losing people, so let's rein it back in. We'll talk about
Zero
the Justice League.
viewers. That was 0 viewers.
I do remember Kyle Rayner either had the most or least, I can't remember, creative uses of the ring. Like,
Yes, he was like an artist.
Because he was an
yeah,
artist,
yeah,
so
yeah.
he was pretty. It was much more than just giant fists.
Right.
That's Hulk, Dan.
The
Big
boxing
green-
glove.
Yeah,
Green
the
Lantern's
big green
boxing
fists
glove.
was Green Lantern. I thought.
There was a great episode. I'm sure this has happened in the comics too, but there's a great episode of The Batman, the action oriented like type anime.
Wait, there
Yeah.
was one good episode?
There was about one collect. Like if you took all of them and combined them, it had its moments. And there was one where he teamed up with Green Lantern and he got the ring and he could use it because he's Batman. He's got willpower,
Yeah.
and that was he was pretty badass with the ring. I remember that. I'll give credit where it's due.
Credit where credit is due.
Oh, it's from Watchmen, Carla Gugino.
Yeah.
She's the very opening of the Justice League of America movie starts with Carla Gugino.
Yeah, so
pilot.
we are watching the pilot.
Oh, it's a
now.
pilot. Okay,
Yeah,
I
it's
see.
not a
Yeah,
movie.
it was like an 86-minute
'Cause
pilot,
it's
like a
80
double-sized episode. So
Yeah.
you
Let's
could
see.
throw it on a DVD and say it was a movie.
And there's no Superman or Batman, right? It's
No.
the B
Which
team.
to their credit, the original Justice League did not
Oh,
have
okay.
Batman or Superman.
Why did they
we
go?
have a DC historian here, Jack.
Now, was the original name was Justice League of America, or was it Justice Society, or
No,
Justice Society was totally different.
so?
Yeah.
So because why call it Justice League of America? That's a very mouthy name for a TV show,
Well, that was the original.
Yeah.
The original team was the Justice
right?
League
But
of
why
America.
not just call it Justice League?
Sells comics.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's America, Jack.
Yeah.
Why are we calling it now? Why is it the new movie coming out with
To-
that-
This is
Come out in
not
other
America
countries.
anymore.
By the way, I love Aquaman's look.
Yeah.
I
You mean Khal Drogo?
Batman and
basically just playing
in
the same
Batman v
character.
Superman. I really like the Batman costume. I'm not crazy about what I've been seeing in Batman and the new one.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, fine. Cyborg, I'm completely indifferent. Flash, what a terrible costume.
Really?
I'm not.
It looks
I'm
like he's-
indifferent
it
to
looks
it.
like just metal pieces
I've-
stuck to
I
him.
was I don't know about the costume, but I was kind of on board with what a lot of people were like, okay, Batman's good, Flash is good, everything else looks terrible. And it's like, yeah,
I like the
that's-
look of I like the way
Yeah.
they. I haven't watched the Flash TV show, but I'm guessing it's the traditional red blur when he runs.
yeah,
No, but it's
well,
not
pretty
as
much.
like. I don't know. Did you see Suicide Squad? There was like a very cool.
yeah, and
it
in
was
the
like very like
and in the
80s.
trailer,
Yeah.
they show it the way the Flash motion's very cool.
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
it's like jilted, like you just see
That's
flashes of him.
Exactly.
Flashes of him.
Yes.
That's where the name comes from.
But anyway, his costume's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I guess let's talk real quick about this Justice League trailer because it just came out when we're recording
Justice
this.
League came out.
Justice League
Just
came out.
us.
I don't. These movies just like.
Yeah, that's
2020 can't come fast enough.
It's just like I'm gonna
It really can't.
see it, which is a sad
No,
statement about
exactly,
me.
yeah.
But I'm not excited about it at all.
not.
It looks just boring. It looks
It's
like
the
more
first
of the same.
Hollywood film, big blockbuster film ever to have Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman,
Superman's
Flash.
not in the trailer.
Well, yeah, but he'll be in.
He'll
it.
be
He,
in it.
he
Eh?
showed.
He's not in the trailer.
That's true.
So you think
true.
this should be like event?
Yeah.
It should be
Movie- like
huge.
movie making,
Yeah, but
yeah.
Batman
Yeah.
versus Superman should have been huge.
I know.
Yes.
And it
I
was
know.
huge.
I know.
A huge
Yeah.
steaming
I
pile
know.
of poo.
I know.
you go.
It's so disappointing.
The problem is,
Snyder is married to a very powerful woman. I'm being serious. His wife is.
Ah.
Anybody else in the world, they wanted to get $1 billion. It didn't even make 900, and you're telling me they would still be doing.
Interesting.
No, that's the only
the
reason.
reason.
Even after like Sucker Punch, they would have swept him under the rug a bit more and been like, okay, he'll kind of do other stuff.
Jack
but
made me see Sucker Punch, and I will
Well,
never
hey,
forgive
you
you.
know,
Never forgive you.
It was an it was
But
a,
it was horrible.
it was a worthy gambit. It could have paid off.
It could have been good, but it was not.
It didn't. No, but it could have.
But I saw a lot of people online being like, "Oh, Justice League could be good." You know, Batman's
can't
got
be.
some funny lines in there, which Batman known for his comedy. But
I like comic relief.
to anyone who thinks it might be good, it is literally the exact same creative team as Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, no,
Same director, same
right.
writers. It's the
And
same
you
thing.
can tell from the trailer that it's just going to be traditional story. It's just big fight at the end, big battle. There's nothing innovative. Maybe somehow Superman's resurrection will throw a wrench into the story, but
Only if he comes back with the mullet, which
He
is
is.
absolutely
Apparently,
he's
he
gonna
is
have the
coming
mullet.
back.
Maybe
He's
not a
coming back
mullet,
with the
but long
black
hair.
He's coming back
board.
with the black costume.
I'm on
That's
board
like
now.
practically confirmed.
Yeah.
But I would love it if he had the mullet.
he'll have long hair. I don't
That's
know
what
about
I
a
think it's
mullet.
gonna be.
I want a full
Yeah,
mullet.
no, I love it.
I want him to be played by Dean Cain. I want full 90s Superman.
I think Dean
Believe
Cain
it
is
or
in
not.
Supergirl, right?
Yeah, and I
think
know he
is,
was
yeah.
in Smallville, right?
Oh, was he?
Didn't
Was
he
he?
play?
Maybe he was.
I'm not too familiar with Smallville, but I thought what I heard was that this was a really good idea. He was supposed to be Jor-El, but it was secretly General Zod giving him like bad advice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's a great idea.
Which was a very good idea.
Yeah.
But
I like that. I never really was into
I'm
Smallville.
not sure.
But
I
let's
know
look
he
at the
was one of them.
Let's look at the cast for this Justice League
Sure.
of America TV show. We got as Guy Gardner, the Green Lantern, my good
Yes.
friend Matthew Settle. Shout out to you, Matthew. I know you're
Is
listening.
Guy Gardner
it-
black?
No,
No,
is
that's
John
Jon
Stewart.
Stewart.
John Stewart. Okay.
Not the Daily
But
Show guy,
it's
but the other
Guy
guy.
Gardner with Kyle Rayner's outfit and
Yeah.
with Hal Jordan's like facial and brown hair and
Yeah.
And
So it's a
Burt
very
Ward's
weird-
penis hanging
Burt
out.
Ward's penis hanging out.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
severed Burt Ward's penis and
Yes.
just dangled it out.
right.
Then we got Kimberly Oha as Ice.
Ice.
Oh, wow. This is 90s Justice League.
Yeah,
huh?
it's
Yeah.
Fire and Ice.
It's Fire and Ice, and then
I
three-
only know
three
them
guys.
because Doomsday fucked them up really bad.
Doomsday
Yes,
killed
that's
Ice.
true. In fact, I think Doomsday destroyed all 5 of these people in the Justice League comics at the time. John Kassir as the Atom.
he
Correct me if
sounds
I'm wrong.
familiar.
Yeah.
John Kassir is the voice of the Crypt Keeper, is he not?
Oh, ladies and goobers.
is.
Who is he playing?
I'm the Atom.
I'm so small.
Look how small I can get.
Out with the nucleus.
Because I'm an atom, you see. It's turning into Mark
Turning
Hamill's
into Mark
Joker.
Hamill again, yeah.
It's tough. It's
Yeah.
very close. But that's pretty cool. Michelle Hurd played Fire. I don't know who
Yes.
Michelle Hurd is, but
In
she has a
relation to
Wikipedia
John
page.
Hurd,
Let's see.
Home
Who's
Alone's dad.
Michelle Hurd is an American actress. Thanks, Wikipedia.
But that's a thing that happens with the type of Justice League things. Is obviously they kind of did it just to do it.
Yeah.
But you have to fight to get any of the big 3. And like you hear these stories about like Bruce Timm and Paul Dini held Justice League hostage because they wouldn't let him have Wonder Woman.
Are they just worried that
And then it's
it'll
like, wait,
taint the existing
Yeah.
properties?
That was a weird thing with DC for a while where
Yeah,
if
it's insane.
They had a thing, it was like the Batman rule or something for a
Yeah.
while where you couldn't use Batman villains in anything else.
Right.
I mean, I could see the reasoning. Like even like right now, you got the Justice League movie coming out. You got the Justice League pretty much on TV, except for Batman at this point.
Yeah.
I could see how it could be confusing to non-comic book fans who
They
can't.
do have
I
Gotham,
guess.
so they have all the
Yeah,
villains.
yeah.
It's weird because, in comic books, there's so much continuity and there's alternate realities and things. And I feel like, they never wanted, even like The Flash, like there's the Flash TV show and then there's going to be a Flash movie and it's like a totally different guy and it's totally unconnected. And they're like, people are going to get confused. I don't think people are going to
And
get confused.
WB owns all of them.
Right.
I would just have the guy from the movie guest star on an episode of the TV show. He'll have ratings through the roof.
Yeah.
Hey, oops! I walked. I flashed
This
into
isn't
the
my universe.
This is the movie
Implied-
universe.
Yeah, they implied that might happen.
Okay, good.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I don't know. I think they just talk.
Oh my God! Everybody in this universe is terrible.
That's a great Ezra Miller impression, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh my God! What's up with this universe?
The perks of being a wallflower, right? Is
the
that me? Am I in
universe.
that?
He is in that.
Well,
Some
there's the perk.
I don't like this Justice League. Shut your hole!
Oh man!
on CW.
And rounding out the cast, we had Kenny Johnston as the Flash.
Oh, Kenny Johnson from The Shield.
I don't know. Kenny Johnston does
No,
not have a Wikipedia
That's
page.
not. What was his name from The Shield? Who played Lem on The Shield?
And they did that thing. I never understand the obsession with like we have to make superheroes spies and we have to make you know what I mean. We have to
Yeah.
give them some kind of lair and but it's not in like the Hall of Justice kind of way because that was very much like Martian Manhunter was very much in this series like a. We got the thing and the team and the mission and like I don't know.
Yeah.
It happens quite a bit.
Why didn't they use? This was '97. They should have used the Flash from the 1990 Flash show. He was good.
He
John
was-
Wesley Shipp?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was
great.
blacklisted because he was gay.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Why wasn't he hitting on you, Dan?
I don't know. I would welcome it because
Yeah.
he's a handsome man.
Oh, he's very handsome.
He
Right?
is the Barry Allen's father on the new Flash show.
Oh, good
Yes.
Yeah. So
And
there
he's
you go.
very good.
Yes, he is. Continuity
Yeah.
of a sort.
And Miguel Ferrer, who that is your
Yeah.
ringer. I don't. Oh,
Yeah,
and
I
David,
mean,
David Krumholtz.
David Krumholtz was an actor who has a crush on
BB.
fire.
On
On
fire.
BB. Which is fire.
But yeah, you had Miguel Ferrer as the bad guy. He was the weatherman. And
They couldn't even get a good villain, huh?
Yeah, that's such a bizarre choice.
yeah.
Like I understand the Batman rule and all that, but you'd think they would try to put some kind of big name in this to sell the show.
just like even like a B-list villain, like
Egghead.
Metallo or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Egghead. Get Vincent Price. He's not doing anything.
I'll do it.
I'll get you, Justice League.
Who's talking? Is that the
An arm-
anthem? Or
an
is
arm-
that,
I am the weatherman.
oh boy, a rival
Wizard.
meteorologist.
Yeah, that's his
That's his
description on
description.
Wikipedia.
Rival.
Not supervillain.
The whole story is about he wants to get him fired.
By the way,
Meteorologist.
real quick, just on Miguel Ferrer. I know we did a whole mini episode about him. He tragically passed away a couple of months
Yes.
ago. I've been watching Twin Peaks finally.
Finally.
Yeah.
And he's so fucking
Yeah.
good on
Yeah.
Twin Peaks.
He's
like
good in
he's like
everything.
he's
Did
good
you
in everything.
did you get to
Yeah.
my second favorite scene of the entire series where
I'm like 3 episodes,
I've seen
two or
Twin
3
Peaks,
episodes
so you
into
don't
the
have
second
to
season. So
watch.
so,
Some of the
so you
fans.
might be. It's where he's always giving the sheriff shit. He just talks
Yeah,
down to
yeah.
the sheriff because
Yep.
he's a city guy, and the
Yep.
sheriff's big.
Yeah.
And he's giving and the sheriff like talks back to him, and he's like, "I'm sick of your shit." And then Miguel Ferrer out of nowhere just gives this like amazing speech about how he serves for truth, justice, and the American way, and he loves it.
I have not gotten to that
Okay,
yet.
I won't.
All right.
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers
Well,
for a
no,
show
I-
that was on 27 years ago.
I won't go into the scene, but it's my.
Yeah.
You'll know when you see it's my second favorite scene. My first
Okay.
favorite scene, I think you probably did see in the second season premiere, where the dad and the son, the military dad,
Yeah.
he like
Bobby
he
Briggs
just
and
out of nowhere he
General
just tells him
Briggs.
about his dream he had the night
Yeah.
before. Yeah, oh, that scene blows
Yeah.
me away.
I'm very excited that Miguel Ferrer did record scenes
One
for,
episode,
for the
yeah,
new Twin
or
Peaks
so, yeah.
before he passed.
Okay.
So that'll be fun.
But there's the Twin Peaks, amazing for 25 years later, amazing amount of people from the original show going to be in it. But the holes that are there are bummers. So the
Right.
sheriff's not
The
going to be in
log
it.
lady.
Log lady, my favorite character, the military dad, he's dead in real life. So
Yeah.
he's not in it. Yeah.
So no Harry S. Truman. He's
No Harry
not
S.
coming
Truman.
back.
Is
That's a
Everett
bummer.
McGill?
Everett McGill, he just died, right?
No,
No.
he was Stilgar in Dune. Sorry. Does that help?
I don't know if you're,
No, it doesn't.
I feel
He's
like
the guy. Usul, we have worm sign, the likes of which even God has never seen.
no, I feel like he might be in it. He
Oh,
is in
yeah,
it. He's
what's his
actually going to be
face?
one of the leads.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Big Ed.
71.
We can talk about Twin Peaks another time because
Yes.
I think we promised Corey
JLA.
that we would have him back on after both of us
Sure.
had actually
Okay,
watched
so
Twin Peaks.
let's
But
play a clip
let's
from
play a
this.
clip
whole
from the
thing.
Justice League.
So I don't even. Oh, so critics said it was friends with superpowers. So I don't even know if, and I'm assuming it's a low budget.
With an attitude.
So I don't know if we can even find.
Oh, that's right.
a
It had that weird. It had a
mockumentary.
sides. That's why I can understand the Friends.
or it's like pre-Office,
Yeah.
with the talking heads. It's I'm surprised.
Ice is the Your Eyes to the World.
So that isn't Carla
which is
Gugino then, huh?
surprisingly progressive,
No, it's
but
not
still.
Carla Gugino.
It looks just like her.
Probably just my imagination.
Did he just say
That's
she's a
Miguel
bit
Ferrer.
cold today and she's ice?
That's sexist.
Good times.
But here's the thing: because of the low budget, there's no action. It's all just like they're not in uniform, and
Yeah.
maybe because it's a pilot, they don't have
There's a guy
superpowers
carrying a
yet.
box. That's action.
The cliff behind me.
We're just jumping through it, and
I
none of this looks
remember
good.
the Weather Wizard stuff because I remember it being a big build up and then it being like it was just so dull.
Yeah.
Nothing I've seen so far couldn't have easily have just been a clip from like an industrial office orientation video.
Yeah. It's pretty weak.
There's got to be at some point somebody in a costume, right?
Probably the very last scene.
Is she from Clueless?
No. Stacey Dash? No, that's not her.
There's got to be in the last 10 minutes. There has to.
All right,
be.
we're in the
There's
last
definitely
10
a
minutes
fight.
of the show.
Yeah, there is a fight and there's
there
a
we
lot
go.
of rescuing.
The costumes look awful.
The Martian Manhunter looks like a fat mask from Jim Carrey. Like Jim-
Yeah, he looks like
can't
he
waste
looks like
time
when the
on
bad
her
guy
anymore.
puts on the mask at the end and he's all big and I came from my back
Who's
pay,
that?
or
Who's-
should I say
That's
payback?
the
Oh, that's Adam,
Awful
okay.
costume.
Where's the repairman?
So these costumes actually have less production values than my Burt Ward Robin.
Yeah.
But it's my last piece.
Oh, see how fast he was off screen?
Flash special effects.
It's a cut.
He literally ran off frame.
Yeah.
And
He
you heard
he
whoosh.
walked off frame, and then you hear whoosh.
The fire looks kind of like poison ivy.
Martian Manhunter looks terrible. Like,
Yeah.
he really looks bad.
Where I come from, 300 degrees is a beach day.
That's
No,
not
it's
true.
not.
You're
Mars
allergic
is
to
cold.
fire.
Yeah, fire
That's
is
your
his weakness.
And Mars is
That's
very
not,
cold.
I'm so mad that
That this is happening.
that happened.
So who wrote this? Like somebody who had no,
Joss Whedon.
no.
It was written by Joss Whedon, actually. No, it was
That's why it's so funny.
That's why everybody keeps saying Dick.
Yeah,
Lauren Cameron and David Hosselton.
Like, did they not watch the comics? Oh, these special. This is 1997. This is
Yeah.
2 years before The Matrix.
What can I do?
David Hosselton wrote for House. So there you go. That's a
But
legit
like,
thing.
if you showed me this,
He's
I would
using
say
the,
I'd say 1987. Like,
It does look pretty 80s.
Is he not using the Green Lantern ring as a helicopter, which is like the dumbest thing you think you'll ever see?
Yeah,
That's-
I mean,
that's-
that was bad.
that's
That's
terrible.
not something anyone should watch. It's not good.
This is one of those things that at a Comic-Con you'll see bootlegs, and that'll be the
Yeah.
one that's like stacked up to 10, while like Star Wars Holiday Special goes.
Yeah, right.
Pride
no
of
one
the
wants
X-Men.
this.
You know what I mean? Like,
Pride of the X-Men is a very interesting
Yeah,
watch
it
if you've
is.
never
That's the
seen
cartoon,
it.
right?
Yeah, that was the 1987 cartoon. It's
Yeah.
basically G.I. Joe, but with the X-Men.
It is. The voices are all the-
Yeah, and
yeah.
Wolverine is Australian for
Yes.
some reason.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, all right, X-Men. What we got here?
and the arcade game is based off of that, so that's a
Yeah.
lot of people's.
oh,
Yes.
It's got that team. That's why, because everybody's like, whoa,
Okay.
the art direction, but it's like, oh, it's the show. That's why.
I had
Yeah.
no idea. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
See, we're all learning stuff here. But I don't know that we have anything else to say about the Justice League
Yeah.
pilot. I mean, it's not good. You shouldn't watch it. Brent, if you watched it, I
Oh,
apologize in
here's
advance.
Here's a question for you boys.
Yeah.
It takes place in the city of New Metro, which props for coming up with the most generic superhero type city name ever. But is that in the comics, or did they? Is that?
I don't know of any
No,
new
that seems
Metro.
like a stand-in for Keystone City, right?
Or
Flashville. And
They probably couldn't use Metropolis, and they
Right.
were like, "Oh, this is new Metro. It's totally different."
So that, I guess there's a Metro from Old England.
I guess so. Yeah, right.
Neo New Metro.
Neo New Metro is about to explode.
Akira.
The film is interjected with mock interviews of the members of the Justice League.
Right.
See, like, I don't get. Like, there's that show on NBC now. I can't. Powerless, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Is
It's
that
supposed,
out
to be,
yet?
it's supposed to have decent reviews.
Yeah, I feel like the first season's over already. I haven't watched it.
it takes place in the DC universe.
Yeah, they work for like Wayne Security or something. It's got Alan Tudyk and what's his face, Abed from
Although
Community.
originally it took place in an insurance company,
Yeah, that's
and
what I
they
heard.
they would sell you superhero insurance in case a superhero fight damaged your house,
Right.
And then they retooled it to Wayne Security after they had shot pretty much everything.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
As from what I
I
understand.
mean, I haven't seen it, but I don't have a lot of interest in it because how much comedy can you get out of that
Right.
premise? Like, just have them work in a regular office.
I hear it's pretty good though.
Is Batman going to come by? Is Ben Affleck going to come
Well,
in?
Alan Tudyk plays Batman's cousin.
Yeah. Is he going to show up in Justice League and be like, "Hey, cousin, here's something that you needed"?
We'll walk by high five.
Yeah, right. Actually, that would be pretty great. What up, cuz? And they high five. I'm kind of into that
Maybe
now.
a fist pumped up, down.
Why isn't Alan Tudyk like have any angst or depression? His uncle or aunt was shot and killed in Crime Alley.
That's true. You're right.
You would think that would affect a man.
True. Yeah. There's a funny. I always think about this. There's a Mad Magazine. They did a spoof of Age of Ultron, and Iron Man says the characters from the Agents of Shield.
Yeah.
Like just name any one of them.
Coulson, Agent Coulson.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Iron Man goes, "Hey, how's Coulson doing?" And they go, "He's fine." Okay, that's enough of that. So anyway, we got Ultron. It's just like it's. That's
actually more
right,
of a
like-
reference than the movies.
Yeah,
really.
that's
Than
it's
the TV
just
show.
like-
Yeah.
That's why I can kind of understand keeping the movies and the TV separate. But yeah, I think they should kind of.
Well,
you know,
at Marvel,
the
it's like a
reason-
different division. Like the movies and
Yeah.
the TV shows aren't
Yeah.
even the same people.
I mean, I'm guessing the reason the TV show is separate is because they don't want to say it aloud, especially because Joss Whedon's brother works on it. But it's not good. It's not a good show. So
Agents of
if-
S.H.I.E.L.D. is
if the
unwatchable,
show-
I think.
if the
I
sh-
heard. Yeah.
Yeah, if the show was actually a critical hit,
yeah.
I could see them tying it in more because there seems to be
Well-
a slightly more chance of maybe getting like Daredevil and Luke Cage into the Avengers movie.
They've said it's not going to happen.
I could still see it happening. I could see them sneaking them in a
maybe
scene
like
or
a one little
reference,
scene,
because those are critically well regarded.
Right.
So
Get
I think-
Iron Fist in there. The critics love Iron
yeah,
Fist.
totally.
But the reason I didn't want this show to exist, even though I was excited about it, is because at least if you're doing this grounded, and then the show has become the MCU has become a lot less grounded over the course of the movies.
Yeah, but you don't really
it's-
want grounded.
But it started out as grounded, and not only just grounded, but stakes wise.
Right.
Yeah.
Every
Okay, that's
2-3
different.
years, some massive event happens, and it's a big deal. Holy shit! New York City just got invaded by aliens.
Right.
We need all of the
a
superheroes.
robot picked up a city.
Yeah, we need all the superheroes to get together and stop this. Whereas when you have, especially for the dumb, ridiculous choice of doing 22 episode seasons, you have literally every week some kind of massive earth-threatening thing happens, and 3 of the C team stopped it. So that takes me out of the world. It's just like, and I'm guessing that's why the movies are kind of pretty much just pretending that doesn't exist, because if it did, we'd basically be like, remember that time we saved Sokovia from falling from the sky? Yeah, that happened 3 times last week, but Agent Tom stopped it.
Yeah. Good
That's
job,
a
Agent
comic
Tom.
book. That seems to be a comic book problem, though. I remember with X-Men, it's like there's a genocide on all of Genosha, and Captain America doesn't stop by and say hi. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like,
14 million mutants died.
Right, 14 million
and
people are
everyone's
getting
just
killed,
like, well, that's a bummer. Back to my work.
Yes, the guys who fly. And I know that was a big thing with Suicide Squad that they called out, right, where the entire Enchantress was destroying everything. And it's like, okay, you established that the Flash is in this world. You established that Batman is in the world.
Right.
Somebody's
Maybe.
not doing something.
Yeah.
I mean, I get this is nitpicking. I get the movie doesn't work without.
Right.
Otherwise, every movie's going to be Justice
exactly.
League. But
It's something to
but
point out all
still,
the
that
time.
maybe that's why you
Right.
shouldn't do a TV series. Or if you're going to do the TV series, make it 8 episodes, 13 episodes,
I think it's
and
the fact
keep
that
the
it's so
story
many
smaller.
episodes.
Yeah.
Because there's so many more hours of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. now than there are Marvel movies already,
That's
because
true.
it's been on for 4
Yeah.
seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's not nearly as interesting.
No,
I had a
I still
friend-
watch it, by the way.
I don't.
It's not good.
I have a friend at the comic book store, and this changed after the Daredevil series, but I remember, every time, this is before it became, everybody loved it, but, whenever they would announce something like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or, Guardians of the Galaxy, he would go, still no Daredevil. Where it was just, these great characters, and that's why Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. could have been, something that everybody's clamoring for. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a shame.
It's a shame. I mean, superheroes on TV, it worked. I think the Flash show is really good. I'm way behind on it. but-
Everybody I talk to loves it. The only reason I haven't gotten into it yet is because there's so many episodes. But
Yeah.
It's too much TV.
I'm behind. And now I feel like I have to catch up on Arrow, and I have to start watching Legends
right.
of Tomorrow
And
and
Supergirl.
Supergirl. Like it's just I can't watch 4 shows at the same
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
They
So
should
much
throw
of
in
it
a
is
regular
catch-up.
show too that has nothing like the Powerless, except not have anything to do with superheroes. Like, what if you find out that what's that show everybody loves on Facebook right now? The melodrama with Mandy Moore.
This is us.
This Is Us. I would like to know if just find out that This Is Us is also in the same universe. Like they're in some town somewhere.
Yeah.
No supervillains are coming by.
Just Milo Ventimiglia puts down the paper and it just says the red blur saves Central
exactly.
City.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't
just
affect him.
This bozo's back in town. And it's just
I used to be a hero.
My cousin, high five.
perfect. That's all we're asking for, people.
I just want every actor to play every character that he's ever played. So I also
Yeah,
want him
exactly.
to also be Rocky's son.
Is that too much to ask?
Is that too much to ask?
We just want everything in one big expanded universe.
Like
that would
Mandy
be great.
Moore also was a pop star in her
Yeah,
teens.
right.
Yeah.
She was Dazzler.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's all connected to the X-Men universe. And then Legion walks by in the background and they're like, hey, Legion. And that's it. That's
What
just-
are we? All right, bye.
all right, so how much time we got
We
left
just
on the
basically
clock here?
described the Dark Tower, by the way.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so again, thanks, Brent. We're going to get our next topic from the generator. So here we go. This one comes from Shane. So thank you, Shane. The topic is...
Shane.
Oh.
Shane.
Shane,
Come back,
Shane.
He's never got that
show.
before.
I can't imagine anyone...
Show's off the rails. Come back, show.
The show is long gone.
So,
Show. Come back, show.
dignity.
Shane's topic, Resident
Thank you,
Evil,
Shane.
the director's cut for PlayStation 1.
Oh, we just talked about this 2 weeks ago.
We were
Good,
talking
so
about
let's
the
do
movies.
something else.
I have literally nothing to say about Resident Evil. I played it
What
once.
was the-
They're
was
great
the-
games,
It's
I guess.
the very first one, the director's cut version.
Yeah.
Very specific, which we like.
Was that different?
I have no
You're talking
idea.
about the
I don't-
Wait,
movies or
is he
the
talking about
games?
the
What
movie or
did
the
you
game?
The game for
Oh.
PlayStation 1, I said.
I never had that. I was Sega Genesis, and then Nintendo 64, and then GameCube, and now I only go to the arcades.
I never played the first one. I own the first one for GameCube. It might be the director's cut. I don't know.
I played it once, I think, at friend of the show Dan Ozzy's house. I remember there were like zombie dogs, and I was like, I'm out. I'm not into this.
Yeah.
I'm not into the horror games. I don't like
I
them.
love the horror games.
I love horror
love being
movies.
scared.
Don't like horror
I like
I
games.
heard the
scared.
new one is like
The
so scary
new one,
that it's hurting sales.
Yeah, maybe
Unironically.
somebody
Yeah,
on our
joke.
Reddit. Sorry, I forget who specifically said that it's the best.
It's
best
probably
one yet.
Shane. Because he seems to like Resident Evil.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about the specific director's cut first video game. I know
Well,
it's
'cause-
introduced, Chris Redfield and
Right.
who's the other one? Valentine? Is that the star?
Yeah, I think
Joe
so.
Valentine?
Joe
Was she
Valentine's
the star of
what
the
I
first
wanted
one?
to say,
Oh, and
yeah.
Wesker.
Wesker,
Yeah. Albert Wesker. I remember him from that game, Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yes.
He
Oh,
was,
really?
he was in there.
Yeah, he's in there. A lot of characters. From the game.
Yeah, Chris was definitely in there too. But Resident Evil, the new one.
So it was like Galactus versus Chris Redfield.
yeah, and Chris Redfield
yeah.
wins.
Rocket Raccoon is in the game, so you're able to get.
Oh, wow, really? When
Yeah.
did this game come out? This is an old game.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3, like 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Maybe even more than that.
That was one of the endings to that game, because they did a couple of endings where it was like this character meets another character, and there were some that paid off where like Iron Fist was in the director's cut, and there's a part where Ryu meets Iron Fist, like in the DLC. And there was a part where one of them met Mojo, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" But that one didn't pan out. That was a bummer.
So I own the game, but I never played it. I bought it because it was like free one day, or it was like $5, and I know everybody loves it, so I
Oh.
bought it. But I've never played it.
Are you
It's a
talking about Resident Evil or Marvel vs.
Marvel
Capcom?
vs. Capcom.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a fighting game, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I played 2. That was the big one, right?
Well, 2
Yes.
we used to play all the time in
so
my
I
basement.
played 2.
Yeah, that's a classic.
So I have 3, or maybe I have 2. I don't know, but it's a
Yeah.
fighting game. So are you talking about like cut scenes?
At the end, every character's ending is just like a little. It's kind of like an homage to like Street Fighter.
So
and
if you
stuff.
play
Found
like the
it.
single player
Yeah.
version, and you beat every
Yep.
Each one has kind of a different snapshot.
that's
and
cool.
I think one has Nova in it, which they did.
So is there a story to that? Is there like how Marvel and Capcom combined?
It was
like,
called
like
Fate of Two Worlds. I feel like there was
Well, I know
some loose
Galactus was
story.
the big
Yeah.
villain, so I guess he.
because the Injustice games, the ones where the DC characters fight, that's
Yeah.
become so popular that I'm pretty sure it's the basis for the Justice League movie.
Well, maybe.
I know for a fact it is, and when I learned about that, I almost tore through my computer.
Like you
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
you've
almost
had
broke the internet.
you have
Yeah.
70 years of
It's
Justice League
insane.
backstory, and
It's
then to make the first
insane.
ever movie this 3-year-old video game.
The plot of the plot with Flash having to go back in time to tell Batman
Superman
because
becomes
goes
a
nuts 'cause
dictator. Yeah,
Superman goes nuts because Lois Lane
Lois
dies.
died.
Yeah.
and then that's the
which is sort of like Kingdom Come in a way too.
no, but
I never played the
really
Injustice
can't.
games, but I know that the comics based on it are like super popular.
Yeah, it's a huge hit.
People actually like legitimately love it, which is not usually the case with video game tie-in.
The
comics.
fact that Batman v
well,
Superman
it was
is
done
pretty
by
much
the Mortal Kombat people, so it was done by like quality.
yeah.
Like
so
the-
Batman v Superman is Dark Knight Returns
Yeah,
meets Death of Superman meets Injustice.
Yes.
all in
Yeah.
one movie. Where you're also
all three
introducing
done poorly.
two main. Well, I don't understand why it wasn't more coherent. I don't.
What do you mean it wasn't coherent? Martha,
Shane, Shane, why'd you say that name?
show.
come back, show.
DC Extended Universe.
I think the show's long gone.
Come back, DC
But-
Extended Universe.
This ties into the Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I bought a refurbished Dreamcast for $20, way past the. But it was buy the refurbished Dreamcast, get a free game, and on a suicide mission, I grabbed Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which was like $100.
Yeah,
on the
nice.
shelf, and I put it down, and the guy was like, okay. Yeah,
So this was like back in the day when Dreamcast was out of production. And
totally out.
Yeah.
This was just like you would get it. Yeah, for like $20 refurbished.
Yeah,
they
nice.
were quickly this GameStop getting rid of their.
Yeah.
But I just remember total suicide mission. Like, oh, maybe he'll. You know what I mean? 'Cause
That's
I thought
awesome.
I'd have to settle for some like football game or something.
Do you think you stole?
Yeah.
Do you think that's really? Is that stealing?
Okay.
It's not
I
stealing.
don't know. I'm not telling
the
you
clerk said,
that's stealing.
Yeah,
I'm,
the clerk
said it was
said.
okay as a
I'm
law.
I'm asking a philosophical question. There's no answer.
Yeah, he got a steal, Jack, but
Yeah.
it's not stealing.
I guess maybe it was get a free game of equal or lesser value, but it was definitely, it felt wrong.
Well, that's on him. And that's why
Yeah.
GameStop is doing
I
so
gotta
well.
tell a
Yeah,
story.
they're closing a lot of.
I had to tell a story real quick because the way you just said it's a steal, not stealing.
Yeah.
So, Steve, did you have for English in high school Dr. Bear?
Yes.
Okay, so we all had Dr. Bear, right?
Yeah.
So Dr.
High
Bear,
school
Very
English
nice guy.
teacher.
maybe
Very
the
nice
maybe
fella.
the best teacher, maybe my favorite teacher out of the whole.
He's a great teacher.
Yeah.
Such a great guy.
Crumb was good.
I was
was
in my
great
head
too.
just now. I was like,
Yeah.
nah, maybe Miss Crumb. But anyway, every day he would give us a journal topic, and we'd all write a journal for like
Yes.
the first 5 minutes of class, and then 2 or 3 of us would read it.
Yeah.
One day he posed a question. He says, this is when Napster was big. This is how
Yeah.
old we are.
Yeah.
Is downloading music stealing? Something like that.
Yeah.
And a few people read, no, it is not because it is blah, 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 blah. Yes, it is, blah, blah, blah. And then I went and I go, he goes, is it stealing or sharing? So then I go, I'll read it. And he goes, I go, okay. And I go, downloading music off Napster is sharing, and there's of stolen music. And I remember like
Twist.
I remember somebody, and to this day I don't know who in the back went.
That's pretty great.
And first, when you just said that steal,
Yeah,
for some reason I just had that memory of somebody going.
Like, never thought of it that way before. You opened eyes in that classroom, Jack. Jesus.
I'm such a powerful writer.
Clearly, God. So, yeah, I don't know that we have anything else to say about Resident Evil Director's Cut.
I feel bad.
I'm sure it's a meaty topic. It's just, I'm not into those games. I know the new one, there's like the whole VR experience.
That's
I
why-
am
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
of that. No
that-
fucking
that-
way.
so
am I playing
we
that.
talked about this on the Reddit. Actually, I'm waiting to buy Resident Evil 7 until I get a VR.
You couldn't pay me to do that.
I
They
love
say
it.
for what it's worth, it has the best sound design of any game.
Oh, there
Right.
you go.
I'm not into that
Yeah,
at
they
all.
said
Like,
it's
movies, I'm so
blood-chilling.
in.
Yeah.
Like, I'll watch horror movies all
It's
day.
amazing though that you do get so scared, and I get scared too. But you know it's fake. You know nothing
I
can
do know
happen.
it's
Can't
fake,
get you.
but it's with those games, it's all jump scares, and I just
Yes.
I do
fucking hate it.
hate jump scares.
I hate it.
I do
Like,
hate jump scares.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, I love it, though.
Hate it
So
so
good.
much. I
So
played it on
good.
the train. I downloaded the
yeah,
app.
Yeah, on the train. You look
And
like
it was-
fucking,
it was
oh,
What's
terrible.
Five Nights at
Look like a
Freddy's?
You
weirdo.
don't know Five Nights at Freddy's?
You've never heard of this?
No.
Oh,
it's an
man.
amazing game.
It's like
They're
a
doing
big
movie
jump
of it.
scare game. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's basically
it's pure jump scare.
you are
I don't like jump scares.
like a security guard in this Chuck E. Cheese kind of place at night.
So it has nothing to do with Freddy Krueger.
No.
It's clearly an homage.
Yeah. But at night, these animatronic animals come to life, and they all look sadistic. And
And they're
you're
trying-
sup-
they're
you're
going
supposed
to
be
kill you.
fixing the lights, but like they're slowly moving in on you
Well,
and
you're not
trying to
fixing
get
the
you.
lights, you're checking the cameras.
Right, you're checking the
If
cameras.
one of them is on a camera, then it won't move.
That's like
but
Blink.
That means
Yeah.
the other one will move, so you have to keep in time.
They stole that
and
from
you
the
have to
Weeping
close
Angels.
half the doors and
Yeah, it's horrible because then
Yeah.
They
like,
should have just made it a Weeping Angels game.
if you
I don't like that
fail-
they stole
it was
from
an
Doctor Who.
independent.
if you
game.
fail, you turn, and all of a sudden there's just
Yeah.
a giant face
Oh
there.
yeah,
It
some
just
of
goes,
it's super.
No,
hard.
I've seen that Doctor Who episode. I
No,
understand.
it's-
That's totally ripping off Blink.
I mean, I'm
It's
sure
a
that it's
story,
ripping off the boos from
yeah.
Super Mario World.
That's
It's the
true,
same
that's
thing.
But a boo they never turn around, so they boo is there.
That's
Not
also
yet.
based off real murders. And I remember I'm being serious. I remember reading about it on Wikipedia, and it was like the chick, which is a giant chick one, has a salad on her bib because one of them got. It was a guy at Chuck E. Cheese who, when they closed for the night, he just shot. All
my
of
God.
his-
Jesus.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh, she has a salad on her bib because one of them was eating a salad when they got shot in the head."
Jeez.
Yikes.
And then they're like, "Freddy waits in the bathroom because the guy who got away,
Yeah.
he got shot, and he had the incredible presence of mind to act dead in the bathroom."
Oh wow!
Wow.
And then he called the cops when
Always
the
played
coast
dead.
was
Well,
Bear,
that's
clear.
dark.
And
mass
that's-
shooters and
yeah,
grizzly
But it
bears.
was one of those when I read it, it was at night, and I was like, okay, no computer time.
I'm done with this now. Yeah,
Wow.
I'm not into it. You should check it out. You might like it.
Yeah,
I, don't
I
know.
actually, for one of the very first times, I was
big
I
weirdo.
I got this free game on Xbox. If you have Xbox, you should always take advantage of the free games. Just download them, delete them.
just get them.
You could always re-download them for free later. It's called Outlast, and you're going through a mental hospital, like an abandoned psych ward, and it's pitch black. The power's out, and you're a journalist, and you have a camcorder that you hold. You have to hold it up. You have to hold a button to hold it up, and then you can also turn on the night vision to see. But that wastes the battery.
Yeah.
So you have to pick and choose when you want
This
to.
game is a battery.
Yeah, and
thing, too.
so you have to pick and
Freddy's.
choose when you're going to look
Yeah.
in the dark, and that's creepy because that's.
That's the fucking shit you get at Five
Yeah.
Nights at Freddy's.
Aw.
Yeah.
Not awe. There's teeth and eyes, and he's got skulls for a face. No one wants
But I
this.
like
Everybody
the
has
way
skulls
that
for
they
a face.
kill you is that
true.
they have a suit there, and what they say is that they don't show anything. What they say is that they would stuff you into the suit, and like the metal parts would like kill your because they're trying to stuff
Right.
you in. That's what they say.
Crazy. So you said
Yeah.
you were playing this on the train. Is it an app?
Yeah, you can get an app of it. And having said that, I hate the game.
And it's a scary app?
I'm looking forward to the movie. The movie could be really good.
And the movie's all
they making a
practical.
movie?
Yeah.
The movie's all practical.
Is Stephen
Absolutely.
Moffat writing and directing it?
No.
Yeah, he is, and it's going to be all about the Weeping
Wait
Angels.
a Workshop or Wingnut is
I
working. One of
think
those.
you are
One of the Lord
correct.
of the Rings things is working on.
Let's bring it up.
But
Wingnut-
they said
Wingnut
it's
should do more
going to be
horror.
exactly like it, except they said the only thing which makes sense is that it's going to be multiple peoples that obviously.
So you can
Multiple
kill
people
people
get
off.
killed,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That makes sense.
I can't imagine. So you were playing it and you were scared and you were on like
It's
a
horrifying.
fluorescently lit subway
I
car?
mean, it's scary because there's a jump scare, and,
And
like
the noises are incredibly
like
loud.
go on YouTube.
Yeah.
There's tons and tons of
Yes.
reaction videos of
Yeah.
people like playing
No,
it
I
and being like,
don't-
okay,
I'm
what's
not
this
gonna
game?
watch any
What?
reaction. I hate reaction videos.
Yeah, I mean, they're not good, but on the train, it's just it's not the right.
I'm just.
atmosphere.
I was gonna say. I'm surprised you were even scared because how immersed can you get into it on a
I
sitting
mean,
on a
you
train?
got your headphones on, you're
the
looking.
noise is
Yeah.
insane.
But like you
people
got
around
homeless
you.
guy pooping next to you. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can ignore that, and I
right.
do.
All right, should we do a lightning topic?
I think we should. Actually, the just looking at Five Nights at Freddy's, animatronics will be designed by Jim Henson's Creature
Oh,
Shop.
Jim Henson's
so that's
Creature.
pretty.
I thought
Oh.
Wada was working on it. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm looking
So it'll
forward
be
to that.
Kermit
Yeah.
and Miss Piggy coming to kill you.
I'm fine with that. I'd watch that movie. But let's do a lightning round. Thanks so much for that topic, Shane. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Shranks for so
Schmanks
much.
for that one, Shane.
Show.
Show, come back. It was off the rails.
It's gone.
Come back, show.
All right, let's just call it an episode. Let's just
I like
no.
lightning.
Last topic, probably here from Fred Lanz or
Black
Fred
Lightning.
Lanze,
Which is
It's-
getting a TV show.
It's Black
Yeah.
Lightning.
Yeah,
he is
the
getting a
outfit
TV
looks
show.
amazing.
It's part of the
Yeah.
part of the Arrowverse. Right?
Yes,
Outfit
yes,
looks
yes.
Great.
It's not actually Black Lightning. The topic is Melissa Joan Hart.
Same thing.
Same thing. I know for a fact
Went
Melissa Joan
cuckoo.
Hart follows Worst Episode Ever on Twitter.
She does. She follows a lot of people.
Yeah, she follows
She
thousands
follows
and thousands
me
of people.
personally.
I think she may
at
also
Jackie No
follow me.
Breaks, yeah.
She was in that
also.
religious movie, right? The most recent one.
Was she the
That
Shack?
sounds about right.
Was she in the Shack? That was a religious movie that just came out.
God's Not Dead 2.
Oh.
I saw it in the theater, and
Still
it was one
kicking?
of those things.
Still breathing?
He still got it. Right.
See, that's funny because Melissa Joan Hart played Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I thought she liked the occult.
Oh boy, hypocrite.
Yeah.
I would never expect that from a Christian.
No, definitely not.
But it felt bad buying the ticket and being like, "Oh, I am supporting this." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. What does it say about Melissa Joan Hart? She was Clarissa, then she was Sabrina.
Clarissa, one of the, I would say, 90th of 90 shows.
Clarissa Explains It All.
I'm sure
a
that's
great
its
show.
own separate
I'm
topic.
sure that it is.
Ferguson, Sam with the ladder.
Wow, wow. That's Sam coming into the room.
Oh, right.
Play the guitar riff.
I thought you
Yeah.
were doing Black Lightning again.
I'm not going to do a Black Lightning impression if that's what you're
Not
asking
gonna do it.
for. Show.
Black show, come back.
It's gone. It's really gone. What's your favorite Melissa Joan Hart vehicle? Steve, I'll ask you.
The one that backs her over. No, that was rude. What you would say is you would say something like the one that she's parking in the valet. There we go. That's a better.
Oh, boy.
No, that first one was better.
I don't know. I guess I don't like any of that stuff.
I mean, I can only think of three.
Yeah.
Besides this God's
Melissa
Not Dead.
and Joey. Is that
No,
one of
no,
them?
it wasn't
Her
one of
sitcom
them.
with Joey Lawrence that I've never
Generic
seen?
I mean,
Sounds
listen
like-
back. I want to say it's the Annie Chang episode, but it might be later.
Yeah.
Where I went in. Oh no, it was. I think it was. No, it was our Lanny Harms episode.
Okay.
About Britney Spears. Go listen back to that after you listen to this one. If you don't remember.
Yeah.
I tell my story about my first girlfriend and watching the movie Crazy, starring Melissa Joan Hart and the guy from
Drive Me
Entourage.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't
that
know. I
that
mean,
Sabrina and Clarissa were the three I was thinking of.
yeah, those are the big ones.
Oh
She
no,
was
no,
in
I got
Can't
my
Hardly
favorite.
Wait.
I know, yeah, Can't Hardly Wait. That's
Yeah,
my fit.
yeah.
They use her
Great
perfectly
movie.
in that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, she had a very like she was the cool girl in Clarissa. I guess she kind of was in Sabrina too. They should bring her back on Riverdale as Sabrina.
They should.
Oh, because
I'd
it's the
watch
same
that.
universe,
Yeah.
right?
They make
Yes.
it the same universe.
The Archie universe.
Yeah,
Bring in
bring Salem,
Salem.
Yeah.
and
Get Caroline Ray as Aunt, whatever the hell her name was.
And the other one.
And the other one.
King's
From
Features.
True Blood? Dexter?
I don't know what she was in.
Jericho.
other than-
Jericho. She was in Jericho.
She was in Jericho? All right. Yeah. Aunt, whatever her name was, you bring her back too. But Sabrina the Teenage Witch, I had a crush on her back in the day. I had a crush on Melissa Joan Hart.
Oh, no, I thought you were going to say on Caroline Ray.
Well, I had a crush on Caroline Ray too. She's a funny lady.
I had a crush on Kimmy Gibbler.
An ample bosom. Kimmy Gibbler still looks attractive.
Yes.
If you watch Fuller House, which I do, she's aged very well.
She has.
She looks exactly the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't really get into Hollywood the way the others did. Because the others, like, what's her name, right? She had a big drug problem.
Jodie Sweetin,
Jodie Sweetin.
Stephanie Tanner.
Oh, is that what's in those things? Drugs?
Yeah.
She got large breasts,
She
everybody.
has very large
Nice.
breasts.
I'm not pointing them out because I'm some one-note guy. It's I believe half the jokes on Fuller House are about her breasts.
It's Fuller Bust is what they call it
Fuller.
on set. Yeah, no, she
Behind the scenes.
she had a meth problem for a while, but Kimmy
Oh, right.
we're all like show.
Oh, right.
It's gone. It's long gone. I don't even know how much time is
That
left.
joke.
It's
is
all.
The joke is gone.
Should we do another topic?
Yeah.
So are we
We
not?
don't
are
wanna
not-
end
Things
on
that I
that.
hate watch, that stuff I never hate watch.
Are we not
'Cause-
tagging,
Not hate
uh,
watch, but like I love watching crappy movies on YouTube, and I can watch like anything by like Scott Shaw, like Legend of the Rollerblade 7. I can watch stuff like that all night, but I could never. And like I love to watch like, oh, this is bad. Let me watch this because it's bad at what it is. I just could never get
I think
into
it's
like
because
teen dramas.
Those
or stuff
shows
like those.
are intentionally made so bland where you can't be so bad it's good.
Well, when you say like those teen dramas, like which shows do you mean?
But
like,
I could never watch even Fuller House.
Oh, really?
Because that's
okay.
I watched
can't
the
do
first
it
one. And I
either.
was like,
I
that's really bad.
love Fuller House.
I can't do it. I watched the first
and
one.
I love regular
and that was
Full
enough.
House. Because there's something about like the cheesy sitcom that is just like it's like apple pie to me, and I actually don't like apple pie, so that's a bad metaphor.
Yeah, but like I consider there's good cheesy sitcom. Like Golden Girls is a
it's
cheesy
amazing.
sitcom, but it's amazing.
Oh, well, Golden
Yeah.
Girls, I don't even know if it's that cheesy. It's
It
just
is.
of its era.
They literally eat cheesecake.
You're right.
Yeah,
They're
that's
always
true.
Blanche. Who is touching my cheesecake?
I can't think of
It's
a
you.
schmaltzier
On
way
St.
to have
Olaf,
characters
cheesecake
bond.
eats you.
So is she Yakov?
Yep. She was Yakov Smirnoff
Smirnoff.
too. No,
Full circle.
Fuller House.
full
too.
circle. Fuller House too.
No, I mean that's a very cheesy schmaltzy show, but it's
guess.
well done. It's competent.
It is. It's very well done. I mean, I think Full House, the original one, is very well done. Also,
Yeah, I
Fuller
like-
House, not as well done, but still very enjoyable.
I would probably watch it if I had the time, but these days I can't.
You have the time to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which
Yeah.
we've discussed as a terrible
Yeah,
terrible series.
It's become my new workout show.
There's
watched-
other good shows you can watch, Jack.
I watched that horrible show Game Over, which was done by the Shrek
I
people
never
and the
even heard of
father
it.
of the Pride. It's like what if life was a
yeah,
video
yeah,
game.
yeah, I remember
and
that.
I remember somebody being like, "You should watch The Sopranos." I was like, "Yeah, but I don't have enough time." They're like, "You have time to watch stuff like Game Over. You don't have time
Yeah.
to watch The Sopranos."
To
Like,
But
watch
it's
one of the best
it's a different
television
kind.
shows
It's a
ever.
different kind of energy.
that's it. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. You can just put Fuller House on and just like it's in the
No.
background. It's just I'm just saying a show like that. Like it's not The Wire where you have to watch intently and.
I would
Right.
say Fuller House and The Wire are probably the two most similar shows.
Yeah.
All right.
They both have meth problems.
That's true.
Well, that is true. I can't fault you there, Jack.
Everywhere
you are correct.
you look.
There's some math. There's some math.
I need to hold on to.
Ciao. All right, we got less than a minute. Let's do a lightning.
We're doing a super lightning. All right. Well, thanks for that one, Fred. Our super lightning topic. Oh, Jesus Christ. It comes from Finnegan Bell. And
Thanks,
it is
Finnegan.
the novelization of the movie adaptation of the novel Great Expectations.
I don't know anything
It
about
wasn't all I hoped it to be.
There you go. He gave us a link to the
See,
Wikipedia page, but
Great
I don't know that we have the time to get into this.
I'm guessing it's like the Jurassic Park novelization of
I have a
the
novelization
movie.
of Buckaroo Banzai.
But that
Really?
didn't
It's
start
one of
out
my
as a novel,
favorites.
though, right?
Yeah.
No, but it
No,
also
it didn't.
it covers all the ground of like there was an entire subplot of that movie that got
cut out. Yeah. They were supposed
Because
to
the
do
movie's
a
already very complicated.
right, and they were
Yeah.
supposed to do a TV version.
Yes.
Amazon was going to
Yep.
do it, and I don't know if they
Yeah.
are. There's a lot of like rights issues
Well,
going
because
on.
first of all, that's true. Yeah, what's his name is really getting screwed. Rick Richter,
Yeah.
the guy who wrote that, who's
Sure.
a very underrated writer. He wrote the '78 Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and he wrote, he wrote Stealth. That was a bit of a flop. But he wrote. Did he? He might have. He wrote something else that was really good. Oh, Jonathan Badham's Dracula.
Oh, okay. Well, that's our show.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about the novelization of Great Expectations in the Reddit.
Yeah, I saved it in the random topic generator. Maybe it'll come up again.
I'm guessing
maybe,
it was just
maybe I'll read it.
I'm guessing it's just the irony of a book adapting a movie that's already adapting a book. It technically should be the same book.
Finnegan put it in a Wikipedia link to it, and I'm very curious to read it, but I will not read it. I will have to come up again.
If it's like the Jurassic Park, I read the novelization to Jurassic Park, which is funny because Jurassic Park is an adaptation of a novel. The thing is, it's made for kids.
That's
the
That
difference.
makes sense.
I see.
So you think Great Expectations, the novelization was made for kids?
Also, it's a novelization of the movie, where the movie took a lot of liberties from the book. So the novelization of a movie of a novel isn't necessarily the same as a
Did
novel.
it have the T-Rex ending or he just beats the Velociraptors because we couldn't think of an ending?
I didn't think of. I don't even remember the ending. It's been a
Let's
while.
go to the book. Bring it out, Jack.
Video
maybe that's
games
in the
have that
topic.
ending, but yeah.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this bit.
Actually, Alan Grant takes his heels off.
Yeah. Show.
That's going to do it for this episode of 90s Percentile. And
Can I also
we've
plug
learned-
my Instagram? I forgot to plug
Oh,
that.
we
You
will,
can.
we
We're
will.
going to turn to
Okay.
plugs in just
My
a minute.
bad.
But before we do that, Steve, I'm going to ask you, and then I'm going to ask Jack, what have you learned here today?
I've learned that I have new catchphrases to use with my friends in conversation, including "show, come back," and that's pretty much it. I'm also
You should do it on you should do it on the stage. It's set.
Yeah,
set.
that-
"Show, come back."
Yeah, you can even
Wow,
still
I'm
keep
tempted.
show.
I don't know. I have a feeling the people who get drunk on a Monday night might not understand.
Just play the
they might not
first-
have seen Shane.
Play the first 25 minutes of this podcast.
Yeah.
Then do your
That's
bit.
set up.
Show, come back. Well, it's an Andy Kaufman thing where I play that set, and then I go, you guys probably want to see me do, the record of, and then it's the rest of the podcast.
That would be a great bit.
I also learned, if you know me as this type of person, I will never be able to look at you guys in the face without knowing that I messed up whether or not Miguel Ferrer was Weather Wizard.
You stole my.
Martian
I'm going to
you stole-
shame you forever.
Was that you?
That was going to be my. I learned that Steve doesn't know anything about comics.
Oh,
Sorry.
my
that's
God.
No, I guess.
It's immortalized.
What have I learned? I guess I learned that the actress that played Ice looks a lot like Carla Gugino.
It's true.
When she's looking directly at the camera. For some reason.
Absolutely. What did I learn today? I learned that perhaps my love of Fuller House is a little bit too much, and
A little full.
maybe my my peers are not also watching Fuller House the second it comes on Netflix.
I'm guessing.
Only saw the first.
I'm guessing your wife Jangle has.
Jangle also loves Fuller
Yeah,
House.
I'm guessing
yes.
that's a big part of the equation. We don't all have a wife with terrible taste in television shows.
I would absolutely still watch Fuller House without my wife.
Really?
So.
You think so?
Yeah, I love Full House. It's such a good show.
Because I know she's very passionate about it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's why we're in love, Jack. That's why our marriage is predicated on Fuller House. Why do you think we had Kimmy Gibbler officiate our wedding?
Hubba hubba.
All right, and that's going to do it. So, Steve, you've been a terrific guest.
Thanks.
So
I've had a
thank you for being
great
here.
time. I
Oh,
mean
I'm
that.
glad you've had a great time.
What a great guest.
Thank you.
How great.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry.
Great English.
I was trying to do a riff on your catchshread. I love this crowd, but for some reason in my
love
head it
this
was
guest.
what a great crowd. So let me try that again. I love this guest.
There it is.
Thank you.
So, Steve, you mentioned your Instagram. What you want to plug? What do
okay.
you want to plug? Go nuts.
We'll start from the top. Steve Whalen, MrJokes.com, SteveWhalen, MrJokes.com. On Instagram, it's Steve Whalen, Mr. Jokes, SteveWhalen, MrJokes. On Twitter, it's at Real Mr. Jokes, RealMrJokes. And one thing to watch out for, every Sunday I've been writing like 100 jokes, and I pretty much tweet out the jokes as I write
Follow
them.
along. I had a
So-
blast
Yeah.
one night just
And
following along with
either
Steve.
that, or sometimes I've noticed, which is fine. Any attention is good. On Monday, I'll wake up and somebody will have like gone down all of them and favorited like their favorite 15, 20, which I still appreciate.
Nice.
But that seems to be a fun thing that people like to do.
We actually didn't even bring this up at the top of the show, and I think we should now.
Yes.
Your writing sessions.
Yes, that's true.
So you, I guess you're like us. You kind of jump between platforms, although we've been pretty much sticking with Periscope. But you've done Facebook Live. I think you've done Twitch, and you do these late night writing sessions.
Not that late, like 11.
okay.
Which to me is not
That-
late.
to
I
me,
know
that's
to
very
them-
late.
yeah.
That's really late to me.
No,
I'm asleep
to
by
a
10
comedian.
usually.
Yeah, to a
But do you want to
comedian.
describe them real quick?
To a comedian, 11 is early.
Do you want to describe the writing session real quick? Because I think it is one of the coolest things on the internet.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. I have a chalkboard wallpaper and I usually take one big topic. Like, for example, I did late night, where I thought, what are some jokes about, like self-deprecating jokes about me getting a late night gig? And then you think about things with late night where it's like, okay, it's on TV. And then we can break down what TV, monitors, literal TV, stuff like that. And then what else? Oh, it's a show, showbiz, and then that kind of stuff. And then eventually I write. I used to only write between, I've been really priding myself. I used to be 5 and 10, but now I can really get to like 15 and 20 within the hour. Like, I feel very strong.
That's awesome.
And
yeah, you basically write 20 one-liners,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
they're not always great, but you usually get like
I will be the first to admit, only when I do the material, when I do the breakdown, which actually, now that I have February, I took off, so it's very weird to be doing this and be like, let me show you my joke totals for February. I wrote 30, and then like this month, my goal is 500. I'm
nice.
at
Wow,
Damn,
wow.
432.
But that's how you got to do it in stand-up. You got it's
Yeah.
just quantity first, then the quality.
But 1 out of 100 is like a material where I'm like 95% gets a laugh and like a good laugh, maybe an applause break. 10 jokes are worth saying into a microphone to see if they're good.
Yeah.
90%, not a chance.
And you can always workshop those 10 jokes again and make something.
at open mics.
Yeah.
And occasionally one time I'll be like thinking to myself, oh yeah, that was a good one. Like back
Yeah.
in the past.
So
you gotta
this
catalog it.
this late night one, I'm glad you mentioned that. That's actually the one I had. That was the first one of yours I'd ever watched. I knew about your videos, but they were always up past my bedtime. Finally, I watched one, and it was the late night one. And one of the jokes you came up with was
Yeah.
amazing.
That people like.
You said you booked.
I'm a fat comedian. I got booked as a... Well, okay. All right. One time I described this, and I told the joke, and the joke, like, bombed, and someone was like, yeah, gold. And so now I always make sure, like, late night and couch is a pretty good one to use as my example one. But I'll say, I'm a fat comedian. I got booked on a late night show as the couch. So that'll be my go. I also scream all my jokes for all you guys that are bleeding from the ears.
and that was
Yeah,
something
yeah.
that came out of 45 minutes of just breaking down the
Yes.
concept of late night
Yeah.
TV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
live brainstorming.
Please,
It's
There's
very
good
cool.
music too. So if you like
Yeah.
Bob Berg and Lee Rittenweiler and
There you
all
go.
those guys, you can listen.
No, guys, I cannot stress enough. Please
Thank you.
just check out
Now,
one of his
that's on my
videos.
Facebook. I'm thinking about Twitch. I just realized my computer is so weak I can't do both at the same time, which is a huge bummer.
Yeah.
But I did, when I had a ton of energy, I did like Twitch in the morning, Facebook at night. But you got to go out and you have to be at the clubs and you have to be doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
we've thought about doing YouTube, and we tried Facebook, and these are much bigger platforms than Periscope. But Periscope is just such
It's
a
very easy,
nice
and
platform.
we're used to
Same
it.
thing with Instagram.
We can
It's
barely
tough.
set up
Instagram
the
versus
podcast.
YouTube.
Yeah,
For me,
yeah.
Instagram, I'm loving it.
But the
And
Instagram
YouTube,
doesn't have the big numbers.
it's
Yeah,
just
it's
like,
tough. Let us know in the Reddit. What would you rather see us on?
Yeah.
We're sticking with Periscope because we're lazy, but
Or do you not want to see us at all because of our ugly, ugly faces?
we've thought about Twitch. We've thought about YouTube. Anyway, Dan, what have you learned today?
I think I said it already about Fuller House.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So,
Your terrible taste in TV.
absolutely.
So where can we find you on Twitter?
I am at Then Dan Says. I tweet very infrequently. Jack, what about you?
I'm at the real Donald Trump.
Very true. That's something else I learned today.
I'm at Jackie No Breaks.
The show, of course, at 90s Percentile or at We Studios Pod. And our website, of course, weepodcast.com, weepodcast.com, or you can just go to 90spercentile.com. While you are there, you can get old episodes of this show. You can get our other podcast, 90s Percentile. Nope, that's this show. You can get our other podcast, Worst Episode Ever. And you can get our Reddit,
Gold.
our Facebook.
Still selling that merch. Steve Whalen, MrJokes.com.
Oh,
yeah, we interrupted you in the middle.
Causes. No, you didn't interrupt me. I forgot to mention it.
There you
It
go.
goes to good causes. Planned Parenthood, ACLU, CARE.
Where is it
Trans
again?
Life.
There you go.
Steve Whalen, MrJokes.com/merch.
We will-
STEVEWHALEN.
We'll definitely put a link to your
/MERCA.
website.
Buy one of Steve. He's
And
got
there's
shirts
stickers
that
too
say
that are only $1.
and they
So-
say I love this crowd. I heart
yeah,
this
they're
crowd.
only $10. And
Yeah,
they're
pretty
pretty
great.
good. They're Gildan.
Gildan, that's high quality
that's
stuff,
high
my
quality.
friend. Oh, my goodness.
Gore-Tex.
So that's going to do it. Or it's not going to do it because if you're on the website, you can go to our Amazon links.
Not gonna do it.
Read my lips.
Show.
More.
Go to amazon.wepodcast.com and you can support the show. You shake. Nope. God damn it.
You got this. You got this.
Amazon.wepodcast.com. It'll take you right to Amazon. Shop like you normally would.
Oh, okay, I'll remember that then.
We get a cut.
You got
It's
the
easy.
Amazon click-through.
Amazon.wepodcast.com.
Yeah, I'll do the Amazon click-through.
There you
Yeah,
go.
make it your
Yeah.
bookmark. Bookmark it.
Yeah.
Bookmark that shit.
Okay.
helps us out.
Wait, I got a question. So
Yes?
I bookmarked it months ago, and I'm always worried that eventually that bookmark expires because
That's not a thing that happens.
because
Every time I do it with Paul Gilmartin's podcast because I'm a sad clown and I need therapy podcast. But I always, I don't know, but I always make sure to go to the website and click that.
yeah,
one
because
every time,
I'm paranoid too.
nervous.
Because there's times where I bought stuff and you said you didn't see it. We didn't get the money
Right.
for it. So, but I want to ask you. So I haven't updated in a long time, but I bought something, and you made a comment in my kitchen a few weeks ago, and I want to see. Did you make that?
Oh, no, you had mentioned at one point that you bought a bunch of Sloppy Joe packets to
Yeah.
make Sloppy Joe.
Because you just came into my house and you looked at a box and you go, "Is that your Sloppy Joe packets?"
Yeah, you mentioned it once.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe
I'm just a listener and a good friend.
I thought
Jack.
maybe you had saw that we got 4% of the proceeds from Sloppy Joe packets. You're like, "Oh, this is the guy that
4%.
bought the Sloppy
we
Joe."
got 6 cents from it. No, I haven't looked at what people.
All right.
We do see what you buy, but we
But
don't know who. We don't
the
know
link
who gets
doesn't
it.
expire.
The link does
So
not expire.
send it as your bookmark, guys.
Amazon.wepodcast.com. If you don't want to spend any money but you still want to support us, you go to iTunes, leave us a 5-star review. That helps the show out a ton. And if you do that, you may get your you may get your review read on the show by a guest,
Our longest episode ever, folks.
just like Steve is about to read a review right now. Sorry, it's small.
Great Merriment by Ribbenstahl, I'll say. You know how people say, wow, they're on fire tonight? That's every episode of this podcast. Dan and Jack have known each other for a long time and developed a unique comedic language, which takes less than an episode to get into.
Not in this case.
Yeah.
Less than. Especially Dan's comments on Jack's out there tangents are amazing and made me burst out laughing in the subway numerous times. I suggest you invest in Grammarly. You listen to... I'm kidding. You listen to 90s Percentile and Worst Episode Ever, for that matter, for these two hilarious guys. The content is secondary. I would listen to any podcast series they put out. Thanks from Germany.
Yeah,
No, thank you so much.
I'm going to say that review was helpful.
And we nice. And we should say this did come from Germany. We don't get to see international iTunes reviews.
Yes.
We just don't. We only see United States reviews from our US accounts. So he was nice enough to actually send us a
Yes,
screen cap.
Ribbenstahl sent us a screen cap of the review. If you are a foreign listener who we have not read your review
Get
on
out of
air,
this country.
you can get right the hell out. We don't need you. We don't want you. America first.
No, we'd lose 52% of our
Yeah, we have a lot of
audience.
non-American listeners. So please send in your review, and we will read it on the air.
Yeah, that was very nice of you to send it in. Thank you so much. It was a nice review, and I think we're going to steal that for our posters and our merch one day.
Absolutely.
The content is secondary.
Content is secondary to our enormous egos. Oh, boy. All right, Steve, thank you again so much for being here. This was tons of fun.
Oh, this was a real pleasure. I really appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely.
We'll have you back,
We'll have
for
you back
sure.
for
Sounds
sure.
good.
Thanks to our listeners for hanging out with us. Thank you guys. And my name is Jack.
My name is Dan, and we will see you in another decade.